And good morning, a very fresh morning, and what a lovely freshness of 9th May 2026. And I am your instructor, Karan Toshiv, is with you. Dear audience, before I go on talking to you on a very important topic related to CSS exam papers, not only related to CSS exams paper, international and current affairs, compulsory paper, current affairs, an elective subject, elective discipline, the chosen subjects. This is the choice subjects, that is international relations and political science. Both are the papers, part 1, part 2, both. But first, I would like to greet all my loving, beautiful, attentively, so I'm eager to know what's happening there in the neighborhood of Pakistan, that is the Strait of Hormuz. Very fresh morning. Greeting from my side. Yes, dear audience, permit me to share with you a very hard-pressed demand from my seamers, from my students, and especially those students who are preparing themselves for competitive exams, Central Superior Services exams, CSS exams, Central Civil Services of Pakistan. They are preparing themselves, and especially those who have already prepared, already attempted CSS exam recently of 2025, but could not get hold of this desired merit. The first 200, 250, the merit list, they could not place themselves, they could not find themselves. So they are more eager, they must, I personally feel that it is just only the communication problem. It is a small little structurally answered sheets might have certain communication in English or the written English expression. There were certain important problems might have been the major causes, reasons for their not getting much marks. You know, in the social media, there is already the report. Examiner report will be there in front of us very soon. But the social media, the written test results, the paper, the compulsory paper, the essay paper, the current affair paper, and then of course, all the papers, whatever is the discipline, the problem which remained throughout all the attempted papers by the competitors, that was communication. It was English communication. So that is why I thought that I must deliver my talk, today's talk, not only to give a sort of revision for the grammatical structure, use of tenses, activized, passivized tenses, sentences, direct and indirect, already taught by me, already imparted to you important things related to English expression, written expression, spoken expression, but also my topic, today's topic, is directly related to international affairs, current affairs, and very, very important, that is the essay paper, compulsory paper, that is the essay paper. Because the topics are the variety of topic which appear for the competitors to go for. Maybe this topic will also be there, and you must be concerned about it. So, it's very important. Yes, dear students, it was in fact the my 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 associational bond with you people as teacher, my associational relationship with you, and that is only through this social media that I am talking to you people. I am really so happy to find that you are giving me the feedback. You are desiring, you are anxiously curious to demand from me that we must be on one grade. For example, your need is my need, and my need is your need. So do come out and do share your comments. I will definitely be coming out with your need with my prepared lessons, as today's, that is the Iran, American and Israeli war, that is the Middle East war. What would be the conclusion? What is likely to be the geopolitical situation here in the Persian Gulf? And Arabian Sea is there, Red Sea is there, then the Gaucasia is there, and then of course crucial states. All the crucial states are there, and then of course monarchies are there. How the geopolitical or geo-economic situation or the strategic and petro-tactical and strategic situations, and the scenario is likely to emerge here in the region, we must know. Because first is the base knowledge. The geography you must know of the Middle East, the background knowledge of the history, the recent history and the past history. I mean, it's immediately after the First World War here in the region, or what happened, and especially the Muslim Ummah, the Ottoman Empire. And after the Ottoman Empire was over, then after the Second World War, there were certain yet emerging scenario, and then of course the background history of this Middle East, the crucial states. Why these crucial states are called crucial? What is the meaning of truce? How the local warring groups, Arabs, they were exploited and they got joint hands with the ruling power. How the Second World War, and immediately during the Second World War, how there were certain, the independent states emerging on the international scenario, and then of course there were under British rule, under the common country's rule, there were certain. So important is that we must know the background as well. Only then you will be able to comment on the ongoing war scenario, the petro or tug of war, and there is United States of America, and then of course the Arab countries or the Gulf countries nowadays, 6, 7 Gulf countries are the crucial states. They are struggling to get survival. But here, very, very important that the Islamic Republic of Iran, the important recent bloody scenario of the Middle East has given a very, very strong message to Iran. And Iran is now standing against America. Iran is standing against Israel. And Iranian, they are going to repeat their history even for 10 years or 15 years or 50 years. They have to continue fighting against a superpower or somebody to come and control all the oil and other assets here in the region, mineral assets. They won't allow anybody. Now this is a very, very tricky, paradoxical, complicated, and then of course very, very deepening geopolitical scenario through which you will be able to understand, you will be able to have command on the regional situation. But towards the end of this topic, we will also find, while concluding our lecture today, we will definitely recommend likely solutions, imminent scenario, imminent geopolitical, and a little conditionally peaceful scenario here in the Gulf region, in the Strait of Hormuz. Because of what? And because of whom? Because of Pakistan, because of China, because of the leadership of Pakistan, because of the trust that both warring parties, they repose in the leadership of Pakistan, because of the trust of the world that they do believe in the neutrality, in the truth, in the authenticity, in the reliability, in the intentional deepening associational bond of Pakistan with not only the region, with the world peace as well. And that is why Honorable Prime Minister of Pakistan, Honorable Field Marshal General Sayyid Asim Munir, and ultimately the Supreme Commander of Pakistan, the President of Pakistan, everybody here is in praying posture for the imminent peace in the region because of very, very important realities, important facts. The facts we will be talking about. Gentlemen, come on. I would like to give outline scenario to all the CSS competitors, to all the people to understand what is the real scenario, how you have to draw outline for your essay, and for a journal seamer, for a journal friend, for my educated gentleman who is concerned about the ongoing situation as the last night or yesterday, what happened there after 4 o'clock, after 5 o'clock, probably again both the parties, both the warring parties, Iran and the American marine or the naval activity, that was quite disturbing, because even the ceasefire is there. Emerging disturbances are there. Again, the rise there in the petrol price, cost, intolerable by anybody. So how we have to find a solution futuristically? What is likely to be? Gentlemen, very important. Can the United States truly defeat Iran without triggering a wider regional catastrophe? Can Iran survive economically and militarily under prolonged US-Israel pressure? The two questions. And there are yet another question: are the Gulf crucial states now choosing strategic survival over ideological confrontation? One more question. Has Israel become a permanent and accepted strategic reality in the modern Middle East? One more question. Will Gulf monarchies, all the monarchies here in the Gulf, including crucial states and Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, all Gulf monarchies continue balancing simultaneously between Washington, Tehran, Beijing, and Tel Aviv? A very important question. Is the future Middle East moving from ideological war towards geo-economic alliances, towards geo-strategic alliances, towards geo and petro alliances? And very, very pertinent, very important question that we have to find answer to this question just after a few minutes. Dear gentlemen, the question is, can Pakistan maintain balanced relations with Iran, Gulf states, China, and the United States simultaneously? Very important, very important. And the pertinence of the same very question that is also there in the next question. Will Pakistan emerge as a diplomatic bridge between rival regional blocs? Very, very important. What happened? Iran is blaming that despite truce, despite agreement, despite ceasefire, the Americans, they first initiated attack on Iranian naval ship, a commercial ship, last evening. And in response, Americans, they are saying, no, it's the Iranian naval forces who started firing, targeting the American ship, the flag on the ship that was American ship. Now you see, going back to that question, could instability inside Iran create long-term security challenges for Pakistan's western border? Very important, very important. Might Pakistan eventually adopt quite pragmatic engagement with Israeli-linked regional systems? We want answer. We have to find out answers. Then is the question, America, is China likely to expand influence quietly while American they manage military containment? Very, very important now. Last but not the least, are trade corridors, ports, energy routes, and maritime choke points becoming more important than the traditional warfare? You see, set of questions, interrogatively worded, all the questions you may appear there in your current affairs compulsory paper, may appear there in the CSS Next 2026 exam paper written test. You may find that one of the topics may be the same covering the same topics or the same questions interrogatively I have talked about, and we are going to discuss each question. And you may find that in the political science paper part 1, part 2, and then current affairs, international relations, you may find that the region of Middle East is picked up because of the hot topic, and the examiner or the paper setters sets a question on the Middle East, and you are very well prepared. And mind you, dear audience, we will continue to discuss these questions, but one more question I want you to keep along with me, because not as competitors of CSS exam, but generally as educated people, as a concerned person here in the region, as the resident of this region, neighboring Middle East, having our relations there in the Middle East, and then of course are very ideologically, so Islamically, ideologically and religiously we are connected with this region because of the two Haramain Sharifain, the Masjid, the Haram Mosque, and the Nabwi Mosque. Because of we are concerned about the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, with whom we have already duty bound to say and to go running and to utter labbaik to the call if there is a need, because we are under defense agreement with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And Khana Kaaba, Makkah and Medina Pak. Otherwise, we are ever ready to present our everything, our wealth, our life, our health, our complete economy, our missiles, our everything, to protect these two very important places, the holy sacred places of Islam. Yes. What is the question? Is the real future of the region based not on total victory, but on managed strategic balance? This is a very pertinent question, very important question. So, covering all and giving answers to these all questions, let us find out one by one how we have to go about. The most likely imminent solution to the present US-Iran confrontation is not a decisive military victory by either side, neither by America nor by Iran, but a managed strategic compromise shaped by Gulf Arab states, global oil pressures, Pakistan's mediation, and Israel's irreversible regional emergence. So, how the situation would be, what is most likely to happen, as a 100 million questions, $100 million questions. So there are three realities, gentlemen, my dear audience, my dear competitors, my dear students. One by one, we are going to discuss these three realities here in the region very quickly, and then conclusion we will draw, and we will come out with the solution. And let's see what happens and what is likely to be today, tomorrow, or day after tomorrow, or may the going or ongoing week, or towards the end of the week, toward somewhere in the mid of the next week, after Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, you may find something that would be maybe predicted by all of us here in this, during this talk, during this podcast, during our deliberations, our talking to each other. So three realities are now forcing all actors toward limited settlement. Reality number one. What is the first reality? What is the first prediction? What is the first scenario here in the Middle East? What is going to be in the Strait of Hormuz? What will be the geopolitical shaping little tangible outcome of ongoing negotiations by Pakistan and China? So let's have a guesswork. First is, neither side can achieve total victory. Why? The US and Israel can damage Iran militarily, but cannot easily destroy Iranian nationalism or fully eliminate its strategic networks. One. Two, Iran can disrupt the Strait of Hormuz and raise global oil costs, but cannot sustain prolonged confrontation with combined US-Israeli power through mediations and active hidden role by Pakistan. Therefore, the probable outcome is, there are four sub-options to find out probable outcome. Number one, temporary ceasefires that we have already done. They have already done. Number two, indirect negotiations going on. Controlled containment. This is probably is problematic and very irritating to both the parties. Gradual regional restructuring. Gradual regional restructuring probably is the important and way of very pivotal importance. Why? Because Pakistan is likely to be assigned an important role as far as this option is concerned. And then the second option, the four under that probable, I have already talked about. And now Gulf trucial states want stability above ideology. Above ideology, this is one of the important topic. We have to understand and we have to discuss. We have to understand, we have to comprehend. Why? Because Gulf trucial states want stability above ideology. It's very important to find answers. Why? The modern Gulf monarchies, all monarchies, the modern Gulf monarchies, especially United Arab Emirates, as Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Qatar and Oman, Sultanate of Oman, they fear for what? They are afraid of what? They are afraid of four things: oil disruption, missile attacks, economic instability, collapse of investment confidence, because even just the investors, they have already started running away from Middle East and trying to find refuge somewhere in the far eastern countries, like you see Indonesia, Malaysia, and then is the South South the southern part of the far eastern countries, including Philippines, including South Korea, including all the other states. They are very advancing and coming up states to attract investment from the investors, because they do not find secure their investments here in the region. Recent analyses show Gulf states increasingly doubt absolute American protection while simultaneously fearing Iran's regional reach. Maybe Iran dictatorially, authoritatively, or domineeringly starts monitoring and policing the Iran's policing role is not acceptable to them. Hence, their emerging strategy is likely to be under five important options for all the crucial states, all the monarchies here in the region. Maintain ties with Washington, cautiously engage Israel, avoid direct war with Iran, diversify security partnerships, support negotiated de-escalation. And this resembles the old British era crucial states logic. If you remember what happened there in the third decade of the 19th century onward, went on giving a lot of things, because the main route for the East India Company, and then later on after 1857, the complete route was there under the domination and all the other powers as well. Then this coastal line of the where today Yemen is located, where today Oman is located, rather the bigger Sultanate of Oman was there, up to even there was no any presence of 7 United Arab Emirates or independent state. There were certain groups, and those groups locally they were there just as a threat to the main route of the British India Company, and then later on the British government, the British rulers and the other powers, other economic powers, the other colonial powers. They did not have trust in this presence of certain Arabs. So trucial states logic was there, and the United Arab Emirates, under the trucial state agreement, they were given these identities on the world map. Finally, in 1971, as per the record of the Gulf, we find that the document is there, independence of all these countries. They were documented, and survival through balancing stronger powers rather than ideological confrontation. The first option is over. Dear students, quickly, come on, let's now also go through or survey what is the role of the Israel's emergence, now structurally permanent, but it was somehow a little tiny a country was created back in 1948, and we all know Abraham Accords. So let's have quickly the revising, reviving and revising our historic fact. The largest geopolitical transformation is not the war itself, but the normalization of Israel into Arab strategic architecture. The geopolitical patchwork where the Israel's permanence of presence that is being desired. The process accelerated through the Abraham Accords, shared Gulf fear of Iran, technologically and defensively agreed upon and signed cooperation and pacts, US backed regional security integration that was also there. And after that, several analysts they now argue Iran's attacks paradoxically pushed Gulf states closer to Israel strategically. It was Iran's presence, Iran's becoming a little muscular as far as the nuclear weapons manufacturing or enriching of uranium, and then other things very cautiously, because International Atomic Energy Agency also keeping a very watchful eye on the activities hiddenly Iran was doing. So all the UNO powers, the Security Council, everybody, including certain other important players, the Gulf states, all the crucial states, they also started fearing Iran. And this paradoxically pushed Gulf states closer to Israel strategically. We find in the history that the Egypt, and after Egypt, then was UAE, and after UAE, likely discussion started for so many other countries who would soon be acknowledging Israel's flag, Israel's presence, and Israel's embassies will be opened in their respective countries, in their respective capitals. So this means Israel is no longer viewed only as a Palestinian issue, but increasingly as a military, technologically security partner. The future Middle East may evolve into, number one, a US-Israel Gulf security bloc. Number two, balanced against Iran, Turkey, and partially China, Russia influence. It's important. These are the two things. Now keep all these points in your mind. And if you are jotting down, you have to again switch it on and my broadcast, and one by one all the recorded points there in the video you can just jot down. And Pakistan's future standing, risks and opportunities, this is an important heading. Under this heading you are supposed to make notes on Pakistan stands at a historic geopolitical crossroads. 1. Pakistan's biggest strategic advantage. 2. 3. Very important. Pakistan uniquely maintains workable relations with Iran, Gulf monarchies, China, the United States of America, Turkey, and broader Muslim public opinion that is there, may be there in the OIC, Arab League, GCC, or maybe African unity, the other regional blocs like SARC or ASEAN, or the other regional blocs in the world where Pakistan's general opinion and Pakistan's general standing, that would be appreciated as today being appreciated by the whole world. Look at the European powers. Look at the European governments. Look at the United Kingdom's stance, the Northern American country, Canada's stance, the Southern American countries, including Venezuela, Argentina, Peru, and so many other Latin American countries and the Central American countries, connecting the two continents of North America with the South America. I mean North America, South America, connecting these two Americas is the location, is the importance of Central America, starting from Panama Canal up to the last, it is the Nicaragua, it is the Paraguay, it is so many, so Paraguay is there in the Latin American country, but you see Central American countries where Mexico is there. Mexico has already been, earmarked just 2 weeks back by the United States of America. The president has hinted, has given little hints that he will definitely be doing some solution to the emerging or showing muscles posture of the Mexican government, of the Mexican people. So they are the Central American states. So all the regional powers, including Central American states, everybody is talking high of Pakistan, Pakistani leadership, Pakistani mediation, Pakistani efforts, Pakistani's stamina, midnight oil burning efforts to find solution to this Middle Eastern problem, to Strait of Hormuz, to be patched up, to be given an immediate solution, everlasting solution, and no war. Next, this gave Islamabad unusual mediatory relevance during this crisis, recent days. A visit by the Vice President of United States of America along with all the parties and very important people, even the son-in-law of Trump was also an important person to negotiate with Iran under the sponsored, courtesy, hosted role of Islamabad. And what happened? It was a little, irritating, important irritants were removed, and now, if handled wisely previously, again Pakistan can once again come forward to repeat its role to emerge as a diplomatic bridge between the states, an energy transit corridor, a strategic balancing power between Gulf and Eurasia. Pakistan can suggest all these things to the warring parties, and Pakistan would be part and parcel. Pakistan's point of view, Pakistan's presence in between the two blocks, between the crucial states of Middle East and Iran, and then of course presence of American, that would also be there. Everybody is to be escorted, everybody is to be technologically and cyber techniques, and there are certain other most modern the equipments, technological equipments that Pakistan can ensure. Monitoring, mediating, and supervising, not supervising, or rather smoothly escorting their presence. Pakistan will probably avoid choosing an extreme camp and instead pursue strategic neutrality. And why strategic neutrality? The supreme and the topmost option for Pakistan. Because strategic neutrality, that is very, very important. A rupture, a hostility with Iran, that is to be reduced. Or a rupture with Gulf states, that's to be tangibly seen, tangibly created. Confrontation with the US, not acceptable. Or isolation from China, not possible for Pakistan as well. Therefore, Islamabad will likely continue to quiet mediation, balanced diplomacy, economic pragmatism. Why? Because greater economic dependence on Gulf bloc, because of remittances, because of oil supplies, investment flows, labor markets, and a lot of things are there, because they have to remain tied to Gulf monarchies, and the monarchies are also full of fear. They do not have trust. Now they do not have trust in Iran, or also they don't have trust in Israel too. As Gulf-Israel cooperation grows, Pakistan may gradually adopt softer unofficial engagement with Israel-linked regional systems. No problem. We have to have little room for the international body to go and instead of triggering, rather we should start dismantling, replacing fire with water. And security without abrupt formal normalization, it's not possible, because security challenges on eastern border of Pakistan, you must make a mention of ongoing situation. True that the eastern border, we have given a very, very strong answer, and the eastern border are little secure. We are capable to take out the eyes of our enemies if they have evil eyes to look towards Pakistan from the eastern border. But the western border security and the challenges, very, 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 very vulnerable situation. You as students must have here the base knowledge. The greatest danger for Pakistan is not conventional, but war. Why war? Because Iranian instability, sectarian spillover, Baloch militancy, refuge influx from Iran, and proxy conflicts, all that would be imminent, that would be problematic for Pakistan, because Pakistan has already undergone a bitter experience of Afghan war, and in return, as a result, we had to accommodate influx or arrival of refugees. And American, they went back, leaving behind all problems for Pakistan to face. And we started facing Pakistan, started facing problems. Then UNO Relief Commissioner, that was also not in a position to hold it. We have now started doing it, and we have started sending all the Afghanis back into their country. But we find a weak Iran border, and weak, as earlier I have told you, experts warn a weakened or fragile, or you see, the weak Iranian presence there on the western borders, or fragmented Iran could destabilize, can create imbalance for Pakistan as well. The buffer, a weak presence of Iranian country on the western border, that would destabilize Pakistan's western frontiers very deeply, very seriously. God forbid, if there is a full-fledged war between Iran and America over this Strait of Hormuz. Thus, Pakistan needs what? Stable Iran, even if politically different from Islamabad. But Pakistan direly needs stable Pakistan, stability there in the Iranian government. And the most realistic end game likely to be, please mark it, end game likely to be, the probable end state over coming years, over coming months, over coming days, maybe, but it would be a little end game that is going to be. For example, actor USA, and likely outcome contain United States of America will contain Iran, avoid occupation. Iran, what are the options with Iran? Survival of the regime, but it will preserve deterrence. Then what is the likely role of Israel? Israel will achieve wider regional acceptance. What crucial states? The Gulf states? Gulf states will build hybrid security order, maybe little elements or the agreements on the true footing of Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Pakistan will be, or the Pakistan Armed Forces, Pakistan Air Force, Pakistan Army, Pakistan Navy, all the Pakistan para forces, even the civil armed forces, they will also be invited to become part and parcel of the Gulf states, build hybrid security order. And very, very important, the China, as you see, the corridor, the Pak-China corridor, lot of investment China has done. China will prefer to expand economic influence quietly, and Pakistan will continue acting as balancing mediator. a middleman, a bridge, a negotiator, a facilitator. And that is the wisdom futuristically Pakistan is going to materialize. The region is moving not toward peace, but toward managed instability under strategic balance. And very, very important conclusion. Let's have a conclusion of our today's talk. I once again give you a reminder that do give your comments in the comment box. Do own me. Do give me your likes, dislikes, even your hearts, your suggestions, your very precious opinions, because I am going to develop and I am going to come out and I'll be there in front of you people with so many important topics for the training of the parents, parental involvement in my podcasts, in my hookups. I would like to generate interest for the lady wives, for the old people, for the senior citizens, for the retired people, for the retirees, how to generate interest for them. So please come out with your suggestions. It's not only the students, it's not only the competitors, it is not only the future leadership, it is not only the budding leadership, it is not only the ISSB, it is not only the IELTS, it is not only the English language and grammar lessons, it is not only the PhD scholars while doing and finding answers or carrying out research or doing a lot of work on their hypothesis. The synopses are there, the specimen synopsis that I will be giving. Not only those students, but also other people having a variety of topics that I'll be talking to you people and I'll be giving solution to those problems. Believe you me, I want to conduct a live group discussion right in the morning after Fajr prayer, after first light, somewhere in the open, and would like to have intellectual discussions, question, answers, going on, talking, extempore, without preparation, true, genuine, original. What is coming from the heart goes into the heart, sort of relationship with the senior citizens, with the retired people, how to be busy, how to be dynamic, how to create dynamism, how to give your intellect, how to give the gist and the crux of your precious practical life, professional life, or your professionalism is to be summed up and to be given as a piece of advice to the new generation, to the new leadership, to the young leadership, because Pakistan as a nation is going to rule the international opinion, international important role, all the plume of internationalism that is going to be there on the forehead, on the map, on the identity, and on the national anthem, on the Pakistan Armed Forces, on the citizenship of Pakistan. So plume is going to be, our iconic identity is going to be. So generate interest and come on, own me. Let's going back to that conclusion of our today's lecture. That is the historical conclusion. That is going to, give a quick gist of what all we discussed today as far as Middle East problem is concerned, as far as finding solution to Middle East problem that is concerned. Yes, Dear audience, historically the Middle East is entering a transition similar to post-Ottoman restructuring after World War One. After First World War, what was the post-Ottoman scenario? That is, in fact, is likely to be, but in a different shape. But now it's being driven, it's being painted, or the patchwork that is being done today in 2026, that is worth knowing, worth imagining, worth seeing, worth touching, tangibly touching. It is worth being drafted by the regional crisis, being handled, being negotiated, being monitored, being mediated by Pakistan. What was the post-Ottoman restructuring after World War One? But now it's being driven by energy routes, technology, drones, maritime choke points, and multipolar competition. Multipolar competition, you see, very, very important to understand. And for this, you have to have the geographical, practical, and very, very important informations on your tips. Dear CSS students, you must know how many oceans are there on the world map. There are 4 oceans. We must know the Indian Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Pacific Ocean, Antarctic Ocean, and then of course we must know all the 7 continents, and then 7 continentally they are connecting how many oceans with each other, with one another. For example, Asia, Africa, Australia, South America, North America, Europe, and Antarctica, all that is there. Geographically or geopolitically, what is the importance of the North Pole and the South Pole and the North Pole? And then, very, very important, the international traffic connecting all these 7 continents through their routes, naval routes, aerial routes, and land routes. The land routes, the landlocked countries are desperately desiring to reach hot water. And what is the hot water? Hot water is today's Gwadar. What is the Gwadar post of Pakistan? What a wisdom, futuristically thought over, pondered over, and then the ruling government of General Ayub Khan handed over the coastal area, a very small little coastal area parallel to Gwadar, locating there on the coastal of Oman, handed over to Oman. And in return, Gwadar was taken over. So this is how that today we are holding the complete. So Pakistan's coastal line, complete coastal area, starting towards the east and towards west, that must be on your tips. Coastal area of Iran must be on your tips. Coastal area of Iraq must be on your tips. Coastal area of Saudi Arabia must be on your tips. Coastal area of Bahrain, Qatar, and then the coastal area of United Arab UAE, United Arab Emirates. Coastal area one by one, and then the Sultanate Oman, and then Yemen, and curving rightward into the Red Sea, and then the Red Sea coastal area of Saudi Arabia, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and on the other side, that is the Djibouti, then is the Sudan, then is the Egypt, and after the Egypt, they are crossing the Suez Canal. They are into the Mediterranean Sea. Again, the coastal area starting from Israel, then Lebanon, then Syria, then all that is coming over the Europe, and then touching the Strait of Gibraltar. And that Strait of Gibraltar is again very, very important, because Algiers, and then of course Senegal, Algiers, and so many other countries up to Libya, and the African continent, the countries were ruled by the colonial power at that time. That was the France. And then, of course, here in the Indian Oceans, there are certain important things, important places, important islands. You must have geographical information of the whole globe on your tips, capitals of all the countries, currencies of all the countries. We must know the exchange rate of all the countries, even the Iranian currency, just only to 1 rupee or $1. How much? It is flabbergastingly very, very, very inflammation, or it is just gone down to the abysmal economic depth because of the crisis. So we must know that. So I was talking about technology, drones, maritime, choke points. They are in the water, choke points are there, and then of course the multipolar competition, and old ideological era is weakening, going far away, and the new order or new scenario, alike old post-Ottoman Empire, Ottoman era, alike, that is the new order, will likely revolve around what? Trade corridors, maritime security, artificial and missile defense capability and superiority, economic alliances, and strategic realism rather than emotional rhetoric. Pakistan's success will depend on whether it can transform from a reactive security state into a geo-economic connector between Gulf, Central Asian state, the China, and the South Asia. I very humbly once again extend my bundle of thanks to all of you for patiently listening to me, and special thanks to those who might have been jotting down, noting down important notes. And very, very particularly, I am talking to those who aspired, who in the comments box, they gave me the message, sir, the topic, the telephonic and the contact with me, sir, put us wise on what is going to be. Prepare us, prepare our paper of current affairs, prepare and teach us and give us notes on important questions regarding the paper of political science, international relations, international affairs, current affairs, and then of course the essay topic is included. That is the main paper, compulsory paper, for which this hot topic can be picked up, can be selected, can be given to you as one of the topics to write your beautiful essay, comprehensive essay in English. So English structure, English tenses, English active voice, passive voice, English direct and indirect, English tenses, scheme of tenses, and then certain words and idioms that I have used in my this vlog, the podlog, the the video you would find in my this vocab that structurally English as a language you must make a note of it. Thank you very much. God bless you. God bless you.